Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we are diving into an absolutely critical topic. It's the dangers of unqualified coaching. If you didn't get a chance to check out parts 1 and 2 of this series, How to Avoid Scam Coaching and Save Your Money, don't worry, I've got those parts linked in the description of this video. So without further ado, let's jump right in. The life coaching industry is booming right now, and for good reason. Skilled, qualified coach can be a game changer, and it can help you navigate challenges and reach your full potential. But here's the flip side of the game of life coaching. With a high demand for good life coaches comes a rise in unqualified coaches. People who claim to have all the answers, but they lack the training, the credentials, or even the basic ethics to provide real support. Today, we're breaking down the red flags to watch out for and the serious risks of working with someone who doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to life coaching. Let's start with the red flags. Now, if you hear or notice any of these, then it's probably time to pause and dig deeper on the life coach that you're selecting. Okay. So one of the red flags is lack of credentials. Lack of credentials is no formal educational training, minimal or no experience in the field. They give vague promises. They make statements like quick fixes or guaranteed transformation. And more of their focus when they're making these statements are on selling products or programs than genuinely helping you out. Unethical practices is another red flag you want to watch out for when you're dealing with life coaches. Specifically, if they're breaching confidentiality. Now, we talked in a previous video about confidentiality and how important it is to make sure that when you're talking with a client, when a coach is talking with a client, that they keep those things close to the vest and they don't divulge any additional information. So breaches of confidentiality is a red flag when it comes to choosing or looking at a coach. Another red flag you want to consider when looking for a life coach or when thinking a life coach is harmful or bad is when they create a cult-like environment. Life coaches sometimes will create cult-like environment where they'll say that the only thing that matters is the advice that they're giving you, or that you're codependent on whatever it is they say to you, or that you won't progress in life or get anywhere or get ahead unless you follow their specific advice. So that's another red flag that you want to look out for. It's creating a cult-like environment as a life coach. Because generally speaking, these life coaches are going to have other clients that they deal with, other people that they deal with, and it can really develop a narcissistic tendency within that life coach. So you want to watch out for that as a red flag. Now, the consequences of working with an unqualified life coach can be serious, sometimes even harmful, sometimes, unfortunately, even deadly. Let's talk about what's at stake. A life coach that's unqualified and harmful can give you misguided advice. They might give advice that's just ineffective or advice that's way off the mark. And when they give you that misguided advice, it could actually make your problems worse. They could waste your time and your money. You can invest months of your life and significant chunk of your savings with little to no progress if that life coach is unqualified. Another thing you want to consider is emotional harm. Life coaches have the ability to inflict great emotional harm if they don't know what they're doing or if they are unqualified and lack the credentials. Imagine opening up to someone who leaves you feeling unheard, invalidated, or even more anxious than before because you can't get back all of the personal things that you've told that person. So be very careful who you open yourself up to and start to think of the relational dynamic and the personality traits of the life coach that you're actually opening yourself up to. Another red flag that you want to watch out for is exploitation. These life coaches love taking advantage, well, the harmful life coaches love taking advantage of people and exploiting people. These so-called life coaches prey on vulnerabilities, manipulating clients for financial or emotional gain. And then you also want to watch out as a red flag for dangerous practices. Worst case scenario, you're subjected to manipulative tactics, cult-like behavior, or harmful techniques that exploit your trust. One of the things that harmful life coaches do is they reel you in, making you think they're really nice or that they are for you. And then what they want to do on the back end of that is just exploit your trust. And again, once they can get you to trusting them, then you're like putting in their hands. They can take you for whatever they want to take you for. So you want to watch out for any life coach that's going to exploit you for what you have. Okay, let's talk about how you can protect yourself from life coaches. How can you protect yourself from dangerous and unqualified life coaches? Well, the first thing you can do is do your homework. Make sure you do adequate research on any life coach's credentials and experience. And remember, we talked about this also in part 2. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you go check it out. We talked about making sure that you get a life coach if you decide to get one who's got a lot of life experience, and not just life experience, but the credentials to back up that life experience. So you want to make sure that that's the case for that particular life coach. And then also, you want to make sure you read reviews. Make sure you read reviews on the performance of different life coaches and kind of the experiences that other people have had with life coaches. But then you also want to make sure you avoid fake reviews, because unfortunately in this AI world that we live in, and in this corrupt world that we live in, people will put fake things out there to make you think that there's something that they're not. So watch out for fake reviews, but then make sure you do your due diligence and read reviews from life coaches. Check for affiliations with reputable organizations like the International Coaching Federation. And one of the things I didn't do last video, which I'll do this video, is I'm going to put a link to the International Coaching Federation. I have to double check and make sure I did it last video. I think I may have. The International Coaching Federation is one of the reputable coaching federations that are out there. So you want to make sure that they have it from them or another legitimate organization. And you want to ask questions. You always want to ask questions. You want to take advantage of the free consultation to gauge their approach and their compatibility. Rule of thumb, always get a free consultation from a coach just to make sure that you guys can connect and you guys have both have the same philosophy. You want to ask about their methods and what you can expect. And you want to trust your instincts. If something feels off, or if something doesn't feel right in your gut, or if you know that something's just not right, okay? You have the ability, you have the autonomy, you have the freedom, and you have the right to walk away from any type of experience, okay? All right. There are shady practices in the coaching world, and there are a lot of people out there who can help navigate, because many of us love social media. If you're looking for creators who dig into some of these coaches and some of their shady practices, I've got a few that I want to recommend to you. The first one is CoffeeZilla. Now, CoffeeZilla has been around for a while. He is a vibrant and sharp investigator who exposes scams and self-proclaimed gurus like nobody I've ever seen. So CoffeeZilla's got a lot of followers. Make sure you check him out. The next person I want to talk about is, her name is Danielle Ryan. She is an ex-life coach with incredible insights, especially into the pitfalls of the coaching industry. And her content is both educational and empowering. She does a lot of good interviews, so make sure you go over and check her page out as well. And last but definitely not least is a gentleman who I just ran into. His name is Cam James. He is a talented filmmaker whose investigative work highlights the darker side of quote unquote gurus. One of his videos actually made me reevaluate someone I hadn't considered before. So make sure you go out and check out Cam James's videos. Really, really solid individual, and he's an aspiring filmmaker. So he's a really good YouTuber. Remember, investing in yourself is one of the best things that you can do, but do it wisely. A qualified and ethical coach can transform your life, but an unqualified one can do just the opposite. If you've had positive experiences with coaching, or even if you haven't, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I want to keep the conversation going about life coaching in this series. And that's it for me today. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and being a part of this amazing, amazing community. And really, would also want to say is I just want to give a shout out to all the creators, content creators, whether you're a small content creator or whether you're a large content creator, medium, it doesn't really matter. If you're doing it and following your dream, I want to give a shout out to you because this is not easy. It's not easy to try to stay consistent. It's not easy to try to continue to put out content that's educational, content that's vibrant, content that's engaging, for people to be aware of what's going on out here. Not just that it's entertaining and putting out content that people really want to listen to and to connect with the audience. So I just want to give a shout out to all the great content creators out there. I want to say keep doing what you're doing, and we are all on this journey together. And as always, live royally and live well. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.